Congratulations to him. Morning, everybody. We're looking at 66 degrees as you head out. It's kind of muggy. You don't need any kind of jacket this morning. We're looking for a rather warm high today, about 80 degrees, kind of like we were yesterday. So we're very spring-like. You might have even smelled some of the wildflowers or the blossoms beginning to come out. We're supposed to be about 73, but obviously the 80 degrees a little early in the season. Of course, that south wind was the big problem in the afternoons, up to 40 miles an hour. This morning, that south wind continues, southeast wind, and we're watching and waiting to see what's happening in the next 48 hours because we do have some rain coming in. We're going to be on the southern end of it, so our totals right now look fairly meager, about 1/3 of an inch to maybe a 1/2 an inch if we're lucky. I'm not even sure we're going to get that much, but it's central Texas that's really going to be under the gun for the first big spring storm of the season. There you see the cloud cover, all of it coming in from the west coast. That's where the storm is located. So we've got the low level moisture, we got the high level moisture, now all of it making our atmosphere sort of ripe and ready to go. Now, it'd be great if we had, shall we say, an unstable atmosphere, but just not going to get there. However, North Texas is really going to see some very interesting weather. First of all, this morning we have a frontal system over Oklahoma. That's not really going to be much of a factor. It's all coming at us from right here. Now, this is an area of low pressure. I'm calling it a bowling ball like the last one. What that means is that it's going to start here over LA, roll over the Rockies, roll over Texas, and then roll all the way to the East Coast. So it's a kind of a coast-to-coast storm. It's about the 3rd or 4th one we've had so far, but this is going to be a rather volatile couple of days for much of the state. Let me show you what we're talking about. Already tomorrow, that'd be your Tuesday, the Severe Storms Prediction Lab has a big swath of central Texas under the chance for slight severe weather. Okay, so this is severe weather. This is not generalized thunderstorms. Generalized thunderstorms is down in the light green. We're in that area that we may have some thunder showers in the region. That they get to Corpus Christi is the big question mark. Right now, however, we're going to call it from, maybe Waco through the hill country all the way to Del Rio, where they're likely to get some rather volatile activity over the next 48 hours. So let's take a look at it on Future Tracker. Here's the cloud cover for today. No real chance for rain today nor tomorrow, but Tuesday afternoon we start picking up a few little light showers. That's not the main event, that's just a lot of moisture here. Main event is right about here, and you can see how it digs down really down into the mountains of West Texas, and then when it blows out of there, it's going to be a big weather maker. So that is something that we're going to have to be dealing with, but again, we're on the southern end of it, so we should get something out of it, but probably not as much as up north. So humid today, 79. Again, humid tomorrow, up to 78. It's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Then Wednesday is going to be a very, very windy day, probably 30, 40 mile an hour winds that we're going to have to watch and wait for. That's your 7-day forecast. We'll toss it back to Sonia.